day, everyone. So, we are the presenter of this topic, determinants of market structure, price, and output determination under the market structure and price output determination. So, here are the objectives. At the end of the lesson, we can be able to know and understand the different determinants of market structure and know the concept of the price and output determination. So, there is a question here. How these market structures are determined and what are the factors involved in it. So as we go along in this lesson, we could be able to answer these questions. But before that, let us first define what is market structure. So a market structure is there is a different industries that are classified and differentiated based on their degree and nature of competition for goods and services. So it is based on the characteristics that influence the behavior and outcomes of companies working in a specific market. So in a market structure, there has been a competition, nature of competition. So as we all know that a market is an area or where the sellers and the buyers would interact. So there are in the market we can purchase different products. So just like for example here in Shaton, there are um, wet market which is for meats and fishes. So there are also for the vegetables. So like that. And in market structure, so there are four popular types of a market structure. So this include a perfect competition, oligopoly market, monopoly market, and monopolistic competition. So the market structures shows the relations between sellers and other sellers, sellers to buyers or more. So there has been an interaction between sellers and the sellers and buyers. So the next topic will be discussed by my group mates. Thank you.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. This is KRIS and I'll be the next reporter. Determinants of market structure. The market type for any products or service is decided by the following factors: numbers of buyers and sellers, economies of scale, nature of product, entry barriers, mobility of goods, factors of production, and government intervention. So these are the determinants of market structure. So let us define all of them. Numbers of sellers. So these are the numbers of firms selling a specific product. It determines the level of competition, ultimately choosing the structure of the market for that specific product. So, a change in the number of sellers in an industry changes the quantity available at each prices, and this changes supply. Examples of numbers of seller. If 5 firms are each willing and able to sell 100 units of a good at the ongoing market price, then the total market supply is 500 units. Now let's proceed to numbers of buyers. So the numbers of buyers decide the demand for a particular product. A monopsony market has multiple sellers and a single buyer who influences the prices of the product. So numbers of buyers and sellers of a commodity in the markets indicates the influence exercised by them on the price of the commodity. Now let's proceed to the economies of scale. So the size of the firm on the level of production contributes to a market structure. If the output is done on such large scale that it that it fulfills the market demand solely, it may create a monopoly market. So, a monopoly market is a market structure where a single seller or producer assumes a dominant position in an industry or a sector. Nature of product. The product features determines the type of market structure to which it belongs. So if the product offered by different sellers are homogeneous, it lies in a perfect competition market. And if it is unique and has no other substitute, then it will create a monopoly in the market.
So, good morning. I am RAGAY for the reporter of today's discussion. So, an entry barriers, as you saw in the screen, is part of the determinants of market structures. So, market structures can be understood as a system of categorizing the products and services offered by the firms. So, this is according to the nature and level of competition of the market. So, and now let's proceed to the entry barriers. So, an entry barriers, profitability of a product invites the sellers to enter such market. So, the market runs on the rule survival of the fittest, where weak firms exit and strong ones survive. So, there are some of the public utility services market which run out monopoly by the government like post offices, railways, water supply, and etc. So, the entry of barriers is an obstacle to business when entering a market. So, this can come in the form of high startup costs, strongly branded competitor of high impact justice. So, for instance, car manufacturers require high startup. So, cost and face competitors and have high brand trust and loyalty. Therefore, as the market, thereby reducing the level. So the next one is the mobility of goods. So the mobility of goods is the easy transportation of goods from production place to the market ensures uniform prices by different sellers. So it describes how someone economic well-being change over time. So most often it look at how someone income changes over time. So this means economic situation is getting better over the course of their life. So the government intervention. So the government intervention is a government is and some markets are indirectly controlled by the government. So the government either imposes heavy taxes or makes the business license mandatory to restrict the entry of firms. So, the example of government intervention is that are the taxes, subsidies, price control regulations, minimum wage legislation, and government bailouts. So, the price and output of determination, as the basic concept of these are the elements of market. Under the elements of market, they are the buyers and the sellers, goods and services, price of the producer or service at the time. Knowledge about market condition, bargaining for a price. These are the elements of market that these elements of market is needing to Saan? Is needing for you to for you to counter the obstacles on business when entering a market. This will be all. Thank you.
So there are four types of market structures. The first one is a perfect competition. The second, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly. So in the first structure, which is the perfect competition, this market structure occurs when there is a large number of small companies competing against each other. They sell similar products, lack price influence over the commodities, and are free to enter or exit the market. In the real world, the pure form of this market structure rarely exists. Let's move on to the second market structure, which is the monopolistic competition. It actually occurs in the real world. In monopolistic competition, there are still a large number of buyers as well as sellers, but they do not sell homogeneous products like the first market structure, which is the perfect competition. The products are similar, but all sellers sell slightly differentiated products. The consumers have the preference of choosing one product over another. For example, the market for cereals is a monopolistic competition. The products are all similar pero madiferensya na pud siya in terms of taste and flavors. The third market structure is oligopoly. In an oligopoly, there are only a few firms in the market. While there is no clarity about the number of firms, 3 to 5 dominant firms are considered the norm. So in the case of this market structure, the buyers are far greater than the sellers. The firms in this case either compete with another to collaborate together, they use their market influence to set the prices and in turn maximize their profits. So the consumers become the price takers. The fourth market structure is the monopoly. In a monopoly, there is only one seller, so a single firm will control the entire market. It can set any price it wishes since it has all the market power. Consumers do not have any alternative and must pay the price set by the seller. Here, the consumer loses all the power and market forces become irrelevant. So let's move on to the revenue. Revenue is the income obtained by a firm through the sale of goods at different prices. So there are three types of revenue, which are total revenue, average revenue, and marginal revenue. The first one is the total revenue. The income earned by a seller or producer after selling the output is a total revenue, and the multiple of price and output. The second is the average revenue. It is the revenue obtained by the seller by selling the per unit commodity. It is obtained by dividing the total revenue by total output. The next is the marginal revenue, the net revenue obtained by selling an additional unit of the commodity. It is the change in total revenue which results from the sale of one or more or one less unit of output according to Ferguson.
Okay, let's proceed to profit. So profit is the difference between income and expenditure. So from the income that we have minus the cost of um, expenses that we have, so we gain profit, but it still depends. So we have types of profits. First one is supernatural profit, normal profit, subnormal profit. So first thing is supernormal profit. So it is an excess profit which is earned over the above and minimum profit. Or in other words, um, it is the excess of estimated future profit than the normal profit. It is a way of determining the extra profits that are earned by the business. So next is normal profit. Normal profit is minimum profit which is earned by the firm. In this case, revenue is equal to the cost. Economically, the cost includes the rent, wages to labor, interest and capital, some minimum profit to entrepreneur. So normal profit is an economic term that we usually refers to a situation where the normal revenues of a company are equal to the cost. It means that the company makes sufficient revenues to cover up all the cost of production. And this remains a competitive in its respective industry. And obviously, it happens in a competitive market. So now let's proceed to subnormal profit. So it is called when the revenue is less than its cost, or So when a firm makes less than normal profit, it is also called it is a lost and is incurred when total revenue is less than the total cost. So any profit less than normal profit where price is less than the average cost. So in other words, or thought, simpler thought, it is below the expected profit that you have. So I think that's all that ends our report about market determinants.